Hello everybody and welcome to Montezuma. Today is going to be a little bit different. I am still setting up. I apologize for being late. Just check on some things. Today's going to be different because we had snow in the region over the last couple days, and that snow has, as I kind of expected when I was thinking about it yesterday, resulted in the closing of Wildlife Drive. So today, Wildlife Drive is closed, but it's my understanding that it is anticipated that, you know, assuming things clear out snow-wise, it will reopen, and then, you know, they'll close officially on, you know, at the end of November. So we still may have another visit or two to Wildlife Drive before things close up. So what I'm going to do is we're going to, since we're here anyway, do our best to still take a look at Wildlife Drive, but we'll have to walk over to and climb up the platform that we occasionally visit before we can do that. So that's what I want to do, and then what we'll do is we will drive to other locations. So basically, I anticipate at this moment that things will be very much the same, except we will not be actually driving on Wildlife Drive. But as usual, you never know. That's why we're here, because we don't know, and we're hoping to know. You know what I mean? You know? You probably, oh, you can't see anything now because, you know, there is snow on the ground, obviously, and I don't know how many inches they received. Talking to the person inside the visitor center, she received a lot of snow, but I don't know exactly where she lives. Hold on, I see some ducks. I did see some swans earlier flying overhead, but I don't know if they were... Oh, I've got to turn one thing off. I don't know if they were tundra swans or trumpeter swans, but they were swans, and there were a fair number of them. I've seen, as I approached, I've seen a fair number of Canada geese in the area, but not too far. I mean, as I was driving on my way, I wasn't too far away from here at the time. Saw a large flock right over Cayuga Lake. So anyway, let's hope we can climb the platform. I don't know if that gets closed off or not. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. There's a little bit of precipitation falling. I'm not sure if it's snow or rain. Temperature is roughly, actually not too bad. It's roughly 40 degrees. So actually, it's warmer than it's warmer than it was last week. Just bump my head. It is a little breezy, but not as windy as it was last week. Along the way here, from counting all the way from home, I didn't count the number of red-tailed hawks that I saw, but I saw a number of them. I'd have to guess maybe close to 10, maybe more, maybe less. I know, really, the number, it's not less, it's really fewer. But anyway, also saw a couple eagles. And speaking of eagles, I did see one flying around here since I arrived today. I've also seen a gull and a number of ducks flying around. I couldn't tell what they were. I saw a small bird of some sort. It may have been a chickadee a few minutes ago, by the way. To my knowledge, like, no maintenance at all goes on here. Maybe in the parking lot, but it's not like anyone's shoveling this path or taking care of anything on Wildlife Drive. That's why they just simply close it when there's snow on the ground. Now we have, been up here and actually driven Wildlife Drive in prior years, once things had turned wintry. So, we can't drive there today, but, it may be that we would be seeing, things that are familiar to us. There's snow on the platform and it's melting and dripping on me at the moment from the upper levels. I see, I think, a northern harrier. Yes. Make it 2. The main pool does look like it's frozen, or at least covered with a layer of ice. I apologize for the event I posted on YouTube. I messed that up. I put a time of 11:30, and then as I was driving here, I realized, oh my goodness, I've miscalculated. It wasn't that I was just making bad time. I had miscalculated by about half an hour. Okay. Oop. Now I'm wearing gloves, which is never fun in terms of handling my camera. Hold on a second. There we go. Oops. In a way, I wish I had the other camera with me right now, but it would have been a hassle to bring along. I can't really see any of this with the naked eye. Well, I can a little bit, but there's, hold on, there's, there are some mounds of snow, or things that look like mounds of snow out there, and, to the naked eye, they could be easily confused with the swans that are out here. That looks like, is that an eagle there? It looks like it. what I should do. I'm going to leave things there like that. I want to look around with binoculars. Distance. Even my hat gets in the way. That looks like a crow. I saw. There they are. Some geese in the distance. I might be faintly hearing the swans. I'm not sure. And what's that in the air? Are they gulls? Where'd they go? Look like it. That's one of them anyway. Of course, we climb a tower and it gets windy again. Sorry about that. This is some Canada geese. There are some ducks out there. Hold on a second. Let's wait for the wind to slow down. While we're waiting, I'm going to look around again. Saw a harrier a moment ago. Oh, more ducks though. Now there's a chance we'll be hearing gunfire here today because I saw well, through much of my trip here and there I saw hunters out there. Zoom in. I'm going to also brighten it up a little bit. Under these conditions, you know, here up on the platform, it's hard for me to really get a look at things. I think I am seeing some gadwalls maybe. Lighten it a little bit more. And might be seeing black ducks out there too, but it's hard for me to tell. Certainly a mallard or two. Just heard, I don't know where it was coming from, but I just heard some swans. Let me look with binoculars. Oh. There they go. Come on, Ferris. Always a challenge with gloves. I think I hear more swans to my left. Yes. Geese up in the air, Canada geese. And oh, come on. Shoot, got too greedy. It's gonna be hard. It's coming right overhead. Hi, beautifuls. I love them. Okay, they're flying right overhead, and let's see if we can. Always gets in my way. Okay, there may be another one. There's another one in the air. I'm trying to find it, but I can't. It's getting farther away, and I have no markers in the sky to help me line it up. Okay. Let's look back down there and see what's going on if we can. I sometimes think we should come up here more often, but you know, it takes time to do it, and sometimes it's better to just actually drive Wildlife Drive. But this gives a vantage, you know, a perspective and a vantage point that we don't get, you know, when we are in a car. To be honest, I'm not sure if these are trumpeter or tundra. They are very similar. We have a few Canada geese flying overhead now. We won't stay up here too much longer, to be honest with you. We'll get to the car and we'll go to a few locations, and then we'll just see how things go. So we're looking at a northern harrier right now. It's, well, two of them actually. One just landed. Neither one is close. Is that another eagle? Is that the same eagle? I'm not sure. But we have bald eagle there. Leave the camera there. Let me look around with the binoculars. See if we can maybe see some of the ducks that are still around. So I see, I can't see very, very well, but I see an American widgeon, at least one. You may be seeing better than I am, but it's hard to focus, and the gloves don't make things easier. And neither does the wind. Wind is picking up again. Is that by any chance northern pintail there? I don't know. Maybe not. I see an American coot, which I'll remind you is not a duck, and more than one coot, I think. But I mean, I'm just, every once in a while something comes into view. Looks like a scaup there. If I'm looking at video later, I might be able to better identify some of these. But like looking through my little on my little camera screen here, it's believe me, not easy. I see a widgeon. I'm sorry, a gadwall. Might see some canvasbacks out there. I'm not sure. And yeah, I think so. I'm not sure if there are any redheads out there or not. Oh, hold on. Where'd it go? So this is a closer look at a northern harrier. Hopefully it'll come back and get closer again. Beautiful bird. Come back. Come back, you. I'm tired of these birds not listening. Okay. let me get you pointed back this way again, just for a moment. And let me look around. Just a few more minutes, I think, and then we'll get some fun. Saw something out there. At least I thought I did. 1 second. Where'd it go? I don't see it. I'm looking through binoculars now. Looks like another eagle. Yes. And we still have the one that's out there perched on one of the mounds. I saw it a moment ago. Not sure exactly where it is, but it's out there. Ooh, what's going on? Uh-oh. Hold on a second. What am I hearing? Okay, are those swans? Or possibly the same swans that we saw earlier, I don't know. Okay, I think I'm just looking all around and see if there's anything else I really think we should be looking at. And if there's nothing really special, my tripod kind of acting funny. Yeah, something's wrong with it. Hold on. Something's wrong with my tripod here. Sorry. It's having a hard time because it's cold and I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's, as I promised, I'm going to take one more look around. Something out of the ordinary, you could say, for us is to see a lot of ducks on the channel, and I just noticed them. Bad time for a tripod malfunction. Sorry, 4 swans just flew overhead. And no, that's not fair. What's wrong with this thing? I've got something wrong with it. It's just not right. 2 swans directly overhead here, and one quick look at the channel down there as best we can. You can see there are quite a few ducks on the water in the channel that's usually to our right. Not sure what kind of ducks they are. I hear it sounds like a significant number of Canada geese coming our way. I don't see them yet. Sorry about this, everybody. I think the tripod needs to warm up a bit before I can really fix it. Don't you love kinda, being up there with them? Okay, I think we're gonna head to the car. Let's look back at that channel one more time. I don't know if my tripod is going to warm up anytime today, because if it's in the trunk where it will be, it might not get warm enough. But we may not even need it anyway. we'll probably end up staying in the car in most locations. Just have you look at those ducks out there, and while you're doing that, I'm going to look around. See some gulls out there too. Okay, one more look around for me. That is, unless I see something. Shoot, this tripod, you know, come on. You have to do that today. It's an eagle. It looks like it might not be a full adult, so okay. Let's head to the car. Oh, battery's almost dead, everybody. I didn't realize this camera battery is almost dead. Hopefully we'll make it back to the car before it dies. Nope. Okay, I've got to switch batteries. Okay, hopefully you're back. But we're still going to walk to the car. Give me a minute, I have to do things so that I can get the tripod down the platform without breaking my neck. And once we get to the car, I'm going to have to convert a few things, understandably, and that'll take a few minutes also. But you know, considering we can't drive wildlife drive today, this really hasn't been too bad. We've seen some eagles, we've seen some northern harriers, we've seen some swans, and even the Canada geese. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed seeing them like we did. And you know, it just goes to show you, even if you see a bird you see all the time, sometimes, you know, you come out and you get maybe a more interesting look or something, and it makes it worthwhile. So that's why. Look at that noise. Oh, it just makes it worth coming out here. Now we've got, hopefully, we'll not be hit by too many drops from the melting snow up there. The last couple of years, you know, number of swans flying by again. Maybe about a dozen. Last couple of years, you know, in late November, early December, you know, there's been the question, okay, you know, can we come up to Montezuma? Will Wildlife Drive be open? And you know, they officially closed Wildlife Drive, I think, December 1st. Well, I know it's December 1st. But there have been times when the weather has been mild and they've left it open. I've also seen when the weather's been mild and they close it anyway. And I've thought, you know, sometimes, oh, maybe I should call ahead, see if Wildlife Drive is open. But over the last couple of years, I've thought, you know, I don't really have to worry about it that much. It's worth coming up here anyway, whether it's open or not. Now, as I've said before, there's a limit. You know, if it's, let's say, late December, and things are frozen over, and there's snow all over the place, and I already know that Wildlife Drive is closed, of course. You know, the question is, are there, you know, many birds to see from the areas where I could easily travel and everything? And, you know, by then, I'm less likely, not that there aren't birds here, but to make the trip and take the time on a shortened day, you know, because of just the shorter days, then I don't bother. By the way, just a reminder, I do intend to have a shortened broadcast on Thanksgiving Day, this Thursday. I won't come here unless I happen to hear of something so remarkable that I'm compelled. But tend to swans flying the other way now. Anyway, I intend to have a shortened broadcast, so if you'd like to tune in and see what I see, you're welcome to do so. Number of swans, I don't know if you can see it, oops, decent flock, and they're flying, many of them, in V formation. As I've told you before, it's not just like the Canada geese that do it, many species do. I want to do some things so I can get in the car. Give me a minute or two. Oh, come on, camera. And there was another flock of, maybe they were ducks. Maybe by sound I would be, I'm sure I'd be able to recognize, well, I can't recognize, but I'm sure those swans could be identified if I knew my swan calls, but I don't. I'm hearing a blue jay. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Oops, sorry. Okay. Another minute or two, just bear with me, if you would. Gotta reconfigure some things in here. Always a pain getting in and out of the car, because I do things differently inside the car compared to outside of the car. That. See, this is, you know, in some ways, this is the kind of day that someone who is unfamiliar with bird watching may, you know, if I come back, they may ask you, oh, you must have, you know, you went today? Yes. You probably didn't see anything, and that's not the case. And really, look where we've traveled. We've hardly gone anywhere. We climbed that platform, and granted, it gives us a nice view over a wide area, but you know, clearly we have seen quite a bit, and I'll bet more species than I even realized because of, you know, the ducks, for instance, and we saw several species of ducks, and I may not have been able to really notice them, and maybe I didn't do a good job of showing them and recording them. There may be more species than I even realize, and maybe I should have, you know, dealt with things differently, but, you know, like I said, sometimes things aren't so easy. Hold on a second. When you're up there on the platform, the wind is blowing, and you're dealing with cold weather and cold weather clothing like gloves. Okay, I think we're just about ready to go. Almost. So, I guess that's the end of Wildlife Drive for us. If you're wondering, and they just use a simple barrier to block it. Don't feel bad that it's closed. The first time I ever came up here, ever, it was closed. And I hadn't realized that, you know, they didn't open until April 1st. I came up here on in March, the first time ever. Came here, drove around like here. You know, I didn't know my way around at all. And I saw like a pair of Canada geese here, a pair of Canada geese there, and I was like, what's so special about this place? I can see Canada geese at, you know, in Ithaca or at home. But I figured there was more to it, and certainly there was, and I'm glad I gave the place another try. I had heard so much about Montezuma, I figured that you know, maybe it was just up at the wrong time, and sure enough, you know, with things closed, I was. One thing that can be difficult if you're looking for eagles, for instance, in trees this time of year is, you know, there could be anything that would catch snow and be dark, you know. So if there's a net, you know, a bird nest, or just a you know, a snag of some sort, or just even just a branch shaped a particular way or something to catch you know, a bit of snow, sometimes from a distance that can look like you know, it might be a bald eagle. You know what? I like pigeons. And I always mention them, or usually mention them. Let's give you a quick look at them. Just because. You know, many people consider pigeons a nuisance. I don't consider them a nuisance. Then again, maybe in the right place. At the moment, so maybe we lost a few degrees. I'd still say it's more comfortable overall than it was last week, because last week we had quite a bit of wind, and that made a difference. So anyway, we'll make the best of what we can today, even though the drive is closed. I see some Canada geese to our left. There's a car behind us. I'm going to let it pass me, because I don't want to drive too fast through this stretch right here. Now, in recent days, really over the last couple weeks, there have been quite a few eBird postings about cattle egrets at the Goosehaven Farm, which is up ahead. And I don't know if the Goosehaven Farm is just on the right side of the road, or if they have property on the left side of the road also. But maybe we'll see cattle egrets. Maybe we won't. Now the snow may have you know, encouraged the egrets to move along. I don't know. Let me just stop here and take a look with binoculars at various things. One thing with the snow on the ground, if cattle egrets are here, it's going to be more difficult to see them. Again, that's if they are here at all. But they're not the only things I'm looking for. I would love to see them. See one or more. I've never seen more than one at a time. And I think someone reported that there were 4 here. But that was, you know, days ago, before the snow. And to our left, you know, there's the ground drops off, but there's probably a lot to see, but I'm not looking over it, to be honest with you. Oh, what did I just see? I think I just saw a pheasant. Yeah, I did see a pheasant. They have pheasants here, and you may recall a couple weeks ago when we did see a cattle egret here, we also saw it, we happened to see it near a cage of pheasants. So far, I'm not seeing anything. Like it or not, that walk on, you know, up to the top of that tower, you know, it seemed kind of short, but it all took time. So it's almost 1 o'clock now. I have to be mindful of the time, as always. I think we're going to continue on. At least at the moment, I'm not seeing anything. And you know, like I said, this because of the snow. If there is a snow, a sand egrets, anything white really. I mean, you know, it can stand out. our right, just ahead, you can see it says do not enter. That's the exit of Wildlife Drive. And now things should be a little bit more familiar to you. Just saw a red-tailed hawk to our left. I believe it was a red-tailed. Might have been something else. Who knows? It was about that size, anyway. Now, things like Mays Point looks like it's, if not frozen solid, at least covered by a layer of ice. I'm not even sure we're going to drive into Mays Point today. Okay, I'm going to continue driving on. I'm not going to go to East Road just yet. Drive straight ahead. As we've had before, we may have some communications issues up ahead. We often do. And I think we're going to go to Armitage Road. We'll take a left and see, you know, like we have the last Canada geese to our right. Oh, wait a minute, wait. Do I see something else? Hold on 1 second. Okay, they're all just Canadas. Thought I saw something else. We're going to take a left up ahead like we have been the last couple weeks, as I was saying. But I wouldn't be surprised if any water that we see like we have the last couple weeks, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's frozen. No activity there. Sorry, Bert. Because of things being frozen. But we'll see. Now, I will caution you. You know, the signal gets to be pretty bad up ahead, and maybe I won't drive quite as far as I have the last couple weeks where it gets really bad. But I may lose you. Is the point. Prior weeks we had been seeing northern harriers fly around in this little area here. I haven't seen anything like that yet. I do see a flock of apparently looks like Canada geese up ahead. Not a huge flock. I think they're Canadas. Let me have a look. There's a chance that they're not. Oh, they are. And I'm not gonna. Don't think I'm gonna go much farther because I Let me just look up ahead. Looks like, as I had predicted, the water is all frozen, and there are a few ducks or geese down there, but I don't think I want to. Oh, maybe a swan. At least one swan. But we're going to turn around, I think. If it weren't for the connection, I would just drive ahead quickly and take a better look, but knowing how the connection is there, I don't want to risk it. To me, I don't really enjoy snow. I mean, I don't like it, on the roads, for instance, but usually it takes just a bit and things are cleared and it's okay. Look where we're driving around now so far. The roads have been essentially, for all intents and purposes, dry. And that's despite some either rain or some kind of precipitation today. But what I don't like, when vehicles splatter on my windshield and everything. Okay, that's that. What I really is, the early snowfalls and the animals that are around are adapted for it, to whatever. Not that it's great, but at least, it is what it is. But I don't like it when, for instance, there's snow in the spring after some of the migrating birds have returned. And all of a sudden they're stuck in an area where there's no food to be found. Especially if that snow is big heavy snowfall that takes a long time to melt away to the point where they can find food again. And the same holds for this kind of snow. Hopefully, I don't know who just flew across the road. Some smaller birds. I don't know what they were. Hopefully, this snow, which again is early for us, will be melting in short order. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any geese here. So I think we're going to turn right around. There's a car behind me. Me. Let me just look with binoculars 1 second. Well, there may be some geese, but they're not close. Oh. However, there may be something else here. Hold on, let me look with binoculars again. Well, it's possible they're decoys. I'm not sure, but I don't know who would put decoys up. So let's see if we can see what I think I'm seeing. Sandhill cranes. They look alive to me. Hi, cranes. Swan there too. And more distantly, where did I see them? Maybe some geese out there somewhere. Maybe not. Okay, but there aren't many cranes and they're not very close, so we're going to move on. We'll go to East Road now, I think. Oh, hold on one second. What is that? More to go. Okay. You never know. We could go to East Road and not see any cranes at all. So, I mean, those could conceivably be the only cranes we'll see today. I don't know. But let's turn around and head towards East Road, see if we can see anything there. Hold on. Equipment off first. Okay. Let's turn around here. Keep coming here because, you know, it was just neat to see a few years ago, you know, a huge number of Canada geese right there feeding in that, you know, the harvested cornfield. And there's always the possibility of seeing flocks of other things, such as the, you know, the sandhill cranes and swans and who knows what else. So that's why, you know, I keep coming here. And, you know, if it were a long trip, maybe it wouldn't be worth it. But since it's not really too far out of our way, it's worth trying, you know, week after week. I'm guessing that overall, unless we see something really fantastic here and it takes a long time, we'll probably end up, you know, shutting things down here and then, you know, a little earlier than normal, just because, you know, of how things are due to the weather. You know, yesterday I was thinking of you know, Montezuma, and I was like, oh, you know, I'll bet Wildlife Drive will be closed today, and sure enough it is. Just because they don't plow it. I have to admit I hadn't followed, like, you know, Montezuma's weather to see if they were receiving the same kind of snowfall that other areas received. But obviously they did receive at least a significant snowfall. naked eye. Looks like there's maybe a significant number of birds down there. Maybe, oh, you know, maybe not. A lot of that water down there may be frozen. So, well, we'll see in a minute. Or at least iced over, I should say. And, oh, this could be a problem in here. Let me give a look to things. Hold on. No, there are fewer birds than I thought. I was seeing something else with the naked eye. There's really not much here at all. I don't really dare drive in there. There's the way things are, maybe I could get out, but I don't want to risk my car getting stuck in there. But we're going to stop right here, and we actually may have a decent view. The problem is there may not be many birds to see. Let me give you a quick look. So, looking over things, you know, there's no one in this vehicle as I see now. I wonder if they're hunting. You can see things are kind of iced over. For the most part. Now there are some areas where the water looks like it's open. And maybe we'll take a look at some of those. So in those relatively small areas, there's a concentration of birds. Are there any sandhill cranes? That I don't know. I have yet to see any, and maybe I should look a little bit more carefully with binoculars. One moment. I don't see any, but might be able to hear them, I'm not sure. Did I just hear a sandhill crane? I think I did. Maybe wrong, but I think I did. Quite honestly, I'm not sure if these geese are just geese that are leaving or if they are kind of arriving on the scene. I don't know. Can't show the flock that's in V formation flying over the road. They formed up. I wonder if they are just leaving the scene and now they're forming up. And I wouldn't be surprised if many of those were geese that were down there on the ground. I don't know. Okay, let's take a quick look with the other camera, see if we can see anything down there, and then we're going to move on. We do have some vegetation in our way. I think some of these are mallards, at least some of them are. Lighten it up a little bit more. Obviously there's some Canada geese down there. I think I may also be seeing, I'm not sure. I think that's a pintail there. See the white? Oh, maybe not. Yeah, that might be close to the center of the screen. It might be a pintail. I'm not sure. I'm having a hard time seeing it on my little screen here. But so far, it appears to be mostly Canada geese and mallards. But there may be other species of duck in there. That center screen, that might be an American black duck, I'm not sure. And there may be a gadwall or two, so there's one, I think, at center screen. Okay, we've got vegetation blocking the view again. So we've seen this sort of thing before. Sometimes, in a way, not that I want things frozen over, but sometimes when things freeze over, you know, the open areas of water and become quite popular with the birds. And in a way that can help us and make things easier. I think there at center screen that looks like a northern pintail with that white breast. So you can see there's quite a concentration. I'm not doing a great job maybe of showing them all to you, but to be careful. If I point out a white breast, I might assume it's a pintail, but if I don't have a good look at it, maybe it's really there's always a chance it's actually a Canada goose. With, you know, when they're on the ground, they often can appear to have some parts that are white, a white breast. Okay, let me look at a couple things here and see. Oh! Way out there. Come on, Ferris. Come on. There's a lot of activity a second ago, if I can find it. Oh, come on. How could I miss that? So, you know, way out there. Look, can you see any ducks? No, you can't, but we just saw them land. Look, we're seeing them land now, but from here we can't see them. There may be, you know, quite a few birds, maybe even thousands out there that we just cannot see. Okay, let me just leave it there and we continue to look around. Obviously we have the issues with the snow and everything, but that's not what the problem is here right now. The problem is they're just that far away from us. So I can't give you the look maybe I would want to and hope to. And you know, they're looking, those ducks out there look like they're quite light in color. And you wonder if they're really that light or if it's because, you know, with that distance things are getting kind of washed out. Colors are, that is. Do I see? You know, if you're used to seeing just you know, maybe 2 or 3 ducks at a time on a lake or whatever, I mean, you see this sort of thing, and it's really something. And it's one of the reasons why it's so worth it to come here to Montezuma. It's, as I've said before, it's the scale of the place. You see during the migration periods, you know, huge flocks sometimes, and you just don't see that, you know, at Sapsucker Woods, or, you know, the little pond off the road, you know, off to the side of the road. You just don't see that. Okay, let's have one more look at the birds that are closer by, a little bit closer. If we can. Again, we have some vegetation in our way right now. You know, I wish the conditions weren't like this. I wish things were easier and everything, but you know, hopefully all these you know, all these ducks and geese are finding the food they need, resting. We're going to move on shortly, I think. Okay, let's move on. I think we're going to skip Shockey, and we're going to likely skip Maze Point as well. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, I'm going to switch cameras. Again, we're just making the most of what we can, making the best of the whole situation, and really not. I'd say it's really not too bad. I mean, you know, sure, we weren't able to drive Wildlife Drive, but as often happens, not being able to drive it had me climb the tower, and we saw some interesting things there. So, or from there, I should say. chance we'll see something really interesting in some unusual place. There's some kind of precipitation falling right now. Yellow minivan ahead of us. I saw them driving along the road before. They're hunters. And there's no one in the vehicle now, so they got out. Well, I see one, well, probably one of them. And I don't know what they're hunting. Small birds. What are they? What are those? Oh shoot, don't fly off. Did they fly off? Yeah, they flew off. Are they snow buntings by any chance? I doubt it, but... Oh shoot. Oh, come on. I doubt they were snow buntings, but they didn't seem like something I ordinarily see. It's through the windshield, so it's not easy. Let me think for a second. Where are they? I have to look at them with binoculars. 1 second. I wish I could. Where are they? I don't see them. There they were. Wish they'd land on the wire or something. Maybe, I'm not saying they're the kind of bird that does that, but I wish they would. I'll bet they're snow buntings, but I don't know. Hold on. Let me get out so I can maybe get a better look without the windshield. Hold on. Let me see where they are, if I can. I see them. I think they are. Love a close look with the other camera. I'm going to give it a try through the windshield. It won't be easy, especially because the car, it's not meant to be pointed that way. Hold on. Shoot. Well, you know what? Hold on. This might do it. Shoot. Let's see. Nope, that won't do it. Maybe my hat. Yeah, that might do it. That might do it. If they stay put, too. That's important. All right, let me give it a try. Hold on. That's not going to work, I don't think. No, there's... Might be able to hold things steady, but the glass causes a lot of problems. Yeah, the window glass. Stupid window glass. I don't know if I can get out of the car and without disturbing them. Hold on. They took off, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Shoot. They were right there and they took off. I might have startled them, and here they come back, but maybe they'll land, maybe they won't. I hear them. Well, hawk just flew by. Okay, if they are buntings, they're behind me. Where are they? Hold on. I think I still hear them, I just don't see them. Shoot, I don't see them. Like I said, I think I don't know where they are. Yes, I do. cute. Well, we're gonna move on unless they come and land in the same spot. 1 second. Sorry this isn't rock steady, but I'm doing my best. So I believe, and I'll look it up in a moment, but I believe these are snow buntings. Now they're not in the coloration that they would get, you know, if they're further north, but I'm looking around a little bit now. They're kind of not, well, they're kind of out of our view right now. But I'm glad we were able to see whatever these are, if they are snow buntings or whether they are or not. Okay, let's move on. Cute little birds, whatever they are. Like I said, I believe they're snow buntings, but I'm not positive. Let me get back in the car. Quite honestly, I'm glad they went behind us. Don't do that. See, that's ridiculous. Not you, the car. Okay, let me change cameras here. I just want to see something here. They might not have been. I don't know. Oh, they might have been. I don't know. But when they're in their white coloration that I guess we'll never see down here, pretty neat. Okay. Anyway, let's I'm going to get going here. Okay, let's move on. Seatbelt, seatbelt. I did see, and I didn't mention it, I did see a hawk fly over while we were trying to look at the buntings when they were ahead of us. I don't know what kind of hawk it was. It looked like a red-tailed hawk, and given the fact that I've seen red-tailed hawks here in this immediate area a number of times over the years, Wouldn't surprise me if it was in fact a red-tailed hawk. I didn't get a good look at it, but that's what I think it was. Oh, someone just flew by. They look like sparrows of some sort, but let's continue on. It's almost 2 o'clock. So we don't have too much more time before I want to get going back to Ithaca. Days are short, and if we want to spend time in Ithaca seeing things, we have to hurry back. I think what we'll do is we're going to skip Maze Point, we're going to skip Shockey Pool, just go right by them, and we'll continue on this road and head towards, again, towards the Goose Haven Farm, just to give another look at things. And if we don't see anything, I'll pack up and head back to Ithaca. It's not to say that there's nothing to see at either Maze Point. There's some gulls flying overhead. Maze Point or Shockey Pool. But again, time is a limited resource, so I'm trying to maximize what we have. Just saw a dead opossum. I don't know if it was in the road when I came through here just a short while ago. Always sad to see. Did I see a robin? Yeah, and another robin. Well, a few robins. 3 or 4 of them, I'd say. And they were right at the edge of the road, so you wonder, are they having a hard time finding food, or I think they were robins. They looked like them. driving by the farm now, and quite honestly, I have my doubts as to the, you know, whether or not the cattle egrets are still around. Given the snow, I wouldn't be surprised if they left. But I'm not really looking for them primarily. I'm looking for other things, other species I'm hoping to see in this area, in this stretch. Just take a quick look. There's some cows over there. I don't happen to see any cattle egrets near them. Like I said, I'm hoping to see other species here. Hold on one second. I see a red-tailed hawk. At least I think it's a red-tailed hawk. We'll take a quick look at it. It's not very, very close. Truck about to pass me. Pickup truck. Let me move forward just a little. I better not move much further forward. So that looks like a red-tailed hawk to me. And I've seen red-tailed hawks in this area, in this stretch also before. But that isn't quite what I'm looking for specifically and hoping to see. What I'm hoping to see, I'll tell you, is rough-legged hawks. And I see another hawk that's closer. It's probably also a red-tailed hawk. We'll take a look at it. Right here. Hey baby. Cute. Cute. But no, I don't see any rough-legged hawks. No guarantee, but I've seen them here in the past, and it's been, for me, as good a spot as any to see them. Okay, let me put you back. Now, at least when I have seen them here over the last couple of years, it's been a little bit later in November, actually, and early December. So maybe it's no surprise, you know, not to see them just yet. And who knows, I may not see them at all. I don't know. I mean, could be this year, I just won't see one. I do enjoy seeing them. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull over, and I think I'm going to pack up and head back to Ithaca. Maybe restarting at about 3:30, maybe a little bit sooner than that. Okay, everybody? Gives me some time to pack up and get there. Okay, so maybe roughly about 3:30, maybe a little sooner, maybe a little bit later. I don't know. It depends on how traffic is and everything else is. Okay, everybody, I will see you. Hopefully this car behind me doesn't hit me. I will see you all in a little while. Bye-bye.